Hello, and welcome to Beating Heart Disease. My name is Kevin Wells. I'm a heart disease survivor. I had a quadruple bypass about a year and a half ago. Had a really bad night last night, so I am going to make some lifestyle changes today. My blood pressure got up over around 150 over 100. Felt like I was almost having a heart attack. Almost called 911. I think it's a part of digestion as well as maybe heart issues. But today I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to try fasting today. The only medication I took this morning was magnesium and an 81 milligram aspirin. That's the only thing I'm going to take today other than water. And I'll let you know along the way how things go. I may be switching to a whole vegetarian diet, but I'm gonna do the things I want to do today. I really don't want to go do my business all day. I might go do a couple things there just to get things done that need to be done, but I really don't want to spend my day there like I normally do, doing my normal thing, because I just don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to survive this thing. But I'll keep you updated as the day goes on. Hello again. I decided to stop in my shop and get a few things done here that I needed to get done. In case something happens, I need to get them done and have them taken care of, but I'm not planning on spending a whole lot of time here. I'm about 4 hours into my fast now. Drinking a little cayenne kombucha. This actually has cayenne in it, ginger, and lime, and it's a fermented tea. I used it last night during my episode, and it did help. It really helps with if you have upset stomach and that kind of stuff, because it is carbonated. So when you drink it, it'll help. Digestive distress, which when you're having heart symptoms, you never know when it's, is it my stomach? Is it my heart? And I can feel my, my stomach and area, kind of moving around and stuff, so I knew it was partially gastrointestinal last night, but this really helped. This helped me get through the night without having to call 911, so I highly recommend drinking some of this. If you are having issues, it's probably a good thing to drink, maybe a quarter of a bottle every day. Anyway, it's cayenne and ginger and lime, all been shown to be good for you, so I'll update you as the fast goes on. So it's about 8 hours into my fasting, a little over. I'm at the supermarket, actually looking around at maybe changing the diet, maybe trying to go back to stuff that's more ancestral. For me, going way back would be around Turkey, England, Europe, those areas. So looking for those kind of foods, and I'll let you know what I find. One odd thing about standing here next to the produce department and looking through the produce and all that kind of stuff, I actually feel better just being around the produce. It's an odd effect. I'm not really into fresh produce that much, so the fact that it's kind of causing a placebo effect is kind of odd. But anyway. Okay, so including last night's fasting, I'm in the 19th hour. So I'm including, before I didn't include the time that I'd slept. I'd forgotten to include that. But I'm in the 19th hour now of not having any food. I have to say that I feel calm. I really feel calm. My blood pressure isn't much better. It's like 140 over 86. So it's still running higher than it should. But I feel calm, so that's the important thing about it. Just want to show you some of the things I picked up at the store. My idea of changing my diet has a lot to do with with my ancestral, my ancestors basically. I look back at, I had a genetic test done last year, and I am as you can probably tell by my skin, I'm a Northern European human. And our ancestry goes back to the linear band ceramic, which means the ceramic peoples, basically, of the northern German area, kind of that whole band along northern Eurasia was where the linear band ceramic people migrated from. They migrated from Turkey. So I found a list of foods that are seasonal in Turkey, and I figured, well, it's January now, so I need to look at what they would be eating in January in Turkey. So here's that list. As far as fruits go, there's not a whole lot of fruits that are in season. There's lemon, tangerine, banana, pomegranate, orange. I already have oranges and I already have bananas, but I did go ahead and pick up some lemons. So I do have lemons. As you go down the list, it gets into nuts and those kind of things. I tried to find chestnuts at the health food store, but surprisingly they didn't have chestnuts. I did a little research on them. They don't have a whole lot of protein anyway, so I may try them at some point. But most of the nuts that would be in Turkey, as you can see, are not in season in January. The first row here is January, and the last row is December. So as you go down a little bit, you see we're in the vegetables, and I picked up broccoli. I didn't pick up Brussels sprouts because I couldn't find them there. I'm sure they had them at the health food store, but I could not find them. Let's go to the next list. And I got carrots. Oops. It's a big bushel of carrots. Looks good and healthy. Spinach. So we got some really good stuff there. Now squash, I was going to get squash, but it requires quite a bit of preparation, so I didn't get squash. I did get cauliflower. Big old head of cauliflower. I also got celery. So nice tasty celery. And I also got lettuce. I didn't know what kind they would have had in Turkey because I didn't research it on my phone right there. I'll research it next time so I know exactly what kind to get. This is just a red lettuce. So you can see that lettuce is in season in Turkey this time of the year. Cabbage, I'm not really a big fan of that, so I didn't get any cabbage. Chard, I just don't know a whole lot about it. I'll have to do some research on it, so I didn't get that. Or leek. Now, rocket was arugula, is what rocket means, and I've had arugula before. It's strong. I thought about getting some, but I didn't end up getting any. But I may get some next time. It's got some kick to it. Also, you see down here radish. Got some radishes. So that's pretty much my haul for the day as far as as far as vegetables and fruits that would be ancestral to me. You can see many of these, that are ripe other parts of the year. There's some pretty good stuff here. You got walnuts and hazelnuts and pistachio. Well, pistachio is not. I don't know why that's even on there. It's got and mushrooms. Mushrooms, but they're kind of late in the season, so I didn't get mushrooms. Anyway, so that's my my haul for the day. I'm gonna start eating these tomorrow, so I'll keep you advised how the diet goes. I actually ended up getting green beans as well. As you can see on the list, it's something that would have been kind of the middle, summer times season vegetable, but I like green beans, so I kind of cheated on that one. So, well, I'm on day 2 of my reset fasting ancestral diet journey, and this morning I'm having oats with quinoa and dates. The quinoa is a South American grain. I couldn't find acorn and emmer, which would be some of the ancient grains, but it's hard to find anything that is made with that. I'm gonna continue looking, and hopefully I can find some stuff that's made with that. I found spelt at the health food store, but the cereal that it was in had a lot of ingredients that I didn't like, so, and sugars and that kind of stuff added to it, so stuff that wouldn't be, you know, part of the diet back in the day. I'm also going to add flax to this. Now the oats, of course, in the oatmeal is from the Middle East. It's an ancient grain. The flax is also been shown to have been domesticated 9,000 or 30,000 years. 3,000 years ago is the first where it was found with, you know, relics and that kind of stuff. But it was domesticated as far back as 9,000, 5,000 years ago in you know, Syria area, Switzerland, Germany. So kind of the areas I'm looking to, you know, have my ancestral diet from. So another thing about yesterday went pretty much okay. I didn't seem to have any major spikes in blood pressure like I have been having. I did have a pretty strong angina episode while I was fixing my dinner last night. Enough where I, you know, verbally said, ow. My blood pressure was normal this morning, but I decided to go ahead and start the bromelain because I've pretty much been off of all supplements, all medications except aspirin. I have been taking aspirin in the morning because I figure I still need the blood thinner since I, you know, have a heart condition. But so this morning I tried taking one bromelain, so we'll see how that does with the angina. Anyway, I'll keep you informed. Well, it's been a week since my fasting. I made it through Christmas and kept true to my vegetarian diet. The place where I went, they had heard from Facebook that I had started this journey, so they were kind enough to have fruits, and I brought my own vegetables and stuff too, so I was just going to eat whatever that day. I was going to cheat and eat whatever they had, meat or whatever, but they kind of chipped in and helped me stay within my goal. So I made it through Christmas without bailing on my vegetarian ancestral diet. I have cheated on some other things as well. I've had nuts that aren't really ancestral, because on this diet you get hungry. I mean, you definitely get hungry when you start a vegetarian diet. As far as it being a benefit, I mean, I do feel, I guess, calmer. I just checked my blood pressure and it was 125/97. It was normal this morning, 124/17, which that hasn't changed through all of this. My waking blood pressure hasn't changed pretty much through all of this. It's when the day starts is when the blood pressure problems occur. Now, I think I've developed a syndrome affecting the blood pressure cuff, because as soon as I was walking back to take the blood pressure reading just now, I started having kind of anxiety and stuff about what the reading might be. So I have a feeling I have developed an anxiety towards the blood pressure cuff, and that's why it was high. It was actually it was like 139/102 the first time I took it, and then it was 125/97 or 95, whatever it was. It was the bottom end was definitely high both times. But I think it's an anxiety, kind of like white coat syndrome, where you go to your doctors and your blood pressure's high, but then when you get home it's normal. So I think I've developed a syndrome to the blood pressure cuff, which that kind of sucks. Anyway, as far as the vegetarian diet goes, I guess I'm gonna continue it for now. I've tried to source rabbits from my ancestral rabbit meat, cow meat. I'm still doing research on that. Finding more ancestral grains. I'm still eating oats and that kind of stuff. I'm gonna try and stick with this, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so this is 10 days since I did my fast, and my fast and my diet change. I switched to all vegetarian. I I guess you already know this from the video. I had, blood pressure spike and went to the hospital and about 3 weeks ago, and then I had it happen again right before I did my fast, the night before I did my fast and my diet change. So I fasted, pretty much just reworked my diet to total vegetarian. So okay, so let's talk about the benefits that I've experienced since doing the fasting and the diet change to vegetarian. First benefit is that not having the blood pressure spikes that I had before. At least they're not as bad as they were. I can still tell sometimes when my blood pressure is going up, but it's not as bad as they were. And I even had an episode last Friday where I thought, well, I'm going to go in and have a chai latte. Bad decision. That night I came home and my blood pressure was 150 over 100. Kind of found out I have a reaction to dairy, apparently. Like a lot of people that have my skin color and that come from the northern Eurasia area, they have problems with dairy. Even if you tolerate it, doesn't mean it's good for you. And if you really want to know if it's something you shouldn't be taking, try taking it completely out of your diet for a week. I have to watch processed foods because they have a lot of dairy in them too. So you're going to have to take out a lot of your processed foods probably too in order to wipe yourself clean of dairy. But if you do that for a week and then try some dairy and see how that makes you feel, if it makes you feel like crap, then you probably know that dairy is not a good thing for you. It's a slow poison for you, just like it is for me, and I've been drinking it all my life. And it is one common denominator. My dad, who had a bypass at 65, drank whole milk pretty much all his life, and I drank whole milk as well, and we both had bypasses. Mine was a lot younger than his. So that is one common denominator that we have. We share. Dairy is one thing that may have caused both of our bypasses. So another thing that I benefited from with the vegetarian diet is I've noticed my sleep apnea is gone. I think I haven't had a test done or anything, but I seem to be dreaming a lot more, so that means I'm sleeping better. I don't seem to be waking up as much, so I'm not sure if that's because of the weight. I probably lost some weight on this diet, so that may be part of the reason why the sleep apnea has gone away. But either way, it's an added benefit that's worth mentioning. This one's kind of gross, but bowel movements. My bowel movements are smaller than they were when I was eating a omnivore diet. They also used to smell like rotten meat, which I guess that's gross, but I mean that's the truth. They used to smell like rotting meat is what they smelled like. They don't smell like that anymore. And so I can't see that being a good thing. Having that in your gut being a good thing for your body. That can't be good. I mean, it just can't. I mean, just the smell alone. I knew that wasn't good, but it's really hard to change diets. You really have to. You have to make a real effort to do it. My breath is another one. My breath used to kind of smell like rotten meat too, and now it doesn't have that smell at all. In fact, the other day I got dehydrated. When I used to get dehydrated, my breath just smelled like nasty, and I just couldn't get to some water. I was doing something, I was working, and I was around people, and I kept kind of smelling my own breath, and it didn't smell bad. So that's another thing that I've noticed is my breath is a lot better than it was when I was eating an omnivore diet. Another thing is it's cheaper. Even eating organic produce is cheaper than buying processed foods. You may not think that's the case, but you can go get a whole basket full of produce and stuff for $50 to $60. Or if you go to Walmart, you get two or three tiny little bags of processed foods for $100. So it's actually cheaper. So it's another added benefit. Now let's go for the bad things. You know, there's always something bad with it. I'm hungry all the time. I'm hungry a lot. That's a bad thing. I have to eat every couple hours, so it's you know, it kind of sucks. It's just the way it is. It's time consuming. Chopping up vegetables and getting them ready in the morning, and chopping up and eating, you know, cooking it in evenings and that kind of stuff. It is time. It's more time consuming than eating a processed food, or you know, it's just time consuming. And even eating the food itself, once you sit down to eat, it just takes longer to eat it, especially if it's raw, because you have a lot more chewing than you do with, you know, with something that's cooked. So if you got a bowl of greens in front of you, of green vegetables, it takes a long time to eat. So it is time consuming. So just something that it is. Another one is energy. My energy isn't what it was when I was on an omnivore diet. I definitely am tired more because I'm not getting I don't think I'm getting probably the carbs that I was. I'm probably not getting you know, just I don't know. My body's just having to adjust to it. I just don't seem to have as much energy. But protein. I am trying to get more protein in with nuts and that kind of stuff. But compared to my other diet, I think I was getting probably around 140 to 160 grams of protein before. Now I'm probably down to 20 to 30 grams of protein a day, maybe, if I'm lucky. So big drop in protein. And what goes with that is my body mass is, I can already feel it shrinking in a week and a half. For somebody who's worked out with weights all their life, this is kind of deflating in more ways than one, ego-wise as well as body-wise. I imagine other things that I'm worried it'll go along with that is aging. You know, if I shrink, I imagine I'm gonna get probably more wrinkles in my skin, and I'll have stretch marks in my arms from being bigger when I was working out with weights and taking all that protein. So I'm not looking forward to that part of it. But, you know, if I'm gonna die, you know, if I look good and die, that's not any better than, that's much worse than not looking good and being alive, I guess. So, anyway. I am still having angina. That's something that hasn't really went away. It went away for a little bit after the diet, because I took out every supplement that I was taking, including the bromelain, which was getting rid of the angina. So, but I put the bromelain back in. I'm still having some angina, so I actually started taking vitamin C supplements again, even though I've made a video about that, how I don't like the way they're made, how they're man-made, but it's the only way that I can get enough vitamin C to help with my angina. I'm not proud to say that I made a video bashing man-made vitamin C and now I'm taking it, but you know, you do what you gotta do, and these videos are just going to change. You know, my stance on things are going to change, and that's the way it's going to be, because this is an ever-evolving situation. It's a disease, you know. It's an ever-evolving disease. And if I find new ways to do things, or if I find things that I need to drop off, well, I'm just dropping them off, because I'm trying to survive here, and when I come across something, I'll let you know what I came across, and maybe it'll help you. But if I drop it off, and you see a video where I dropped it off, and you go, well, hey, wait a second, you made a video a month ago about something different, saying that it was good. Well, now I found out it wasn't good, or it stopped working for me. So then I will make a different video on something else, because that's how this disease evolves. So anyway, so if you liked the video, please subscribe. Click the little bell symbol if you want to see when I make another video. Also, you know, give me a like if you would. That'd be cool. And I hope you like this video, and thank you for watching.